Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com. So garden. Hello and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. My name is Christopher Rayman Witecki, and I consider myself your soul biographer, a person here to help you put together your karmic story through the orbits of what is above turns out to be what is below. And it's a pleasure to be back on the air. I have to say, one of the new little tricks of recording this same open for everybody is that I can tack on an open at the very end. My goddess, did we have an intense weekend. A new moon in Aquarius rattled me, put me behind in my schedule, so my apologies for showing up what I consider late with the horoscopes. I want to be on the air, but I didn't feel too bad. It knocked out the Pope as well. You know, when Neptune's in Pisces, folks, is when the Pope resigns. When the rats start leaving the ship, it's not always because the ship is sinking. Sometimes I think it's because light is brightening up, and we're seeing some effects of that, including even a personal killer or cop killer in California. A lot of crazy stuff going on. This is Neptune in Pisces. We're going to talk about that in your horoscope. I call it the party in Pisces. But even though we were distracted in Pisces, the sun is really the focus in Aquarius. We're working on how we position ourselves. We'll be going deep into that as well. Plus there are some squares, and I've got some new technology to kind of show you along the way. So let's take the Ascension Elevator up to 33,000 feet and get on our journey.
Afternoon, folks. This is your captain speaking. While riding the Ascension Elevator, be sure to keep your hands and feet in at all times. The white zone is for immediate loading and unloading of emotional baggage. And as always, thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
And here we are at 33,000 feet to get the bird's eye view of Libra and Libra risings. Hello, Your Honor. So good to see you. And hello, Libra risings. You don't really have the title of Your Honor, but you certainly do get that honor when you walk about the earth now, don't you? There are several themes going on right now for the Libras and Libra risings. For the Libras, in a more immediate sense, this is you returning to your inner child this month. This is the part of you where your heart chakra resides. This is really the center of your soul. This is what we're here to do, is to love and to light cast and to create and to express what we consider as joy. And now we're in chapter 3 of Sun in Aquarius. And so this week we're wrapping up the transit of Libras stepping into their joy. And for Libra risings, perhaps stepping into your joy for the first time, or returning or healing your inner child. But the story is a bit more complicated than just stepping into your inner child. Several planets are causing all sorts of things, including the universe putting an incredible amount of pressure for Libras and Libra risings to step into the moment differently, to become more spiritual in the moment. And for you to really pull off all the things you're wanting to do, spirituality in the moment is going to be, I think, the quintessential key, and we'll be talking about that in today's horoscope. Also, at the same time, you've been cutting away old self-confidence issues since October. So facing self-esteem issues, this might manifest in money issues and abundance issues, but the core of abundance is our ability to value ourselves, and that's what law of attraction brings. So a bit sensitive on what you're worth while you're trying to step in your inner child. And then lastly, relationships are changing very fast. Uranus is pushing for you to move forward in new partnerships, new marriage, and new partnerships in your life, and that too is a forefront. So many places under construction for the Libras. Let's look at the play-by-play though here at the bottom with, of course, our Mr. Happies as always. We have basically a breakdown on light cast day. The new moon is in the house of inner child, and so Libras are basically your inner child is feeling vulnerable. It wants to have what it wants. Passion has got to give away, and so there might have been a breakdown with that new moon. On Monday, Mercury ruled the day, so it was about breaking through, understanding just where your inner child didn't or wasn't able to get what he or she wanted. The moon moves into Pisces on Monday, making everything very real. This is where spirit in the moment starts to be an issue. On Tuesday, Venus does rule the day, so you will restore balance and order, but it will mean that you have to respond differently to the old things, especially in the moment, in the body, or in your lifestyle. Wednesday is kind of cloudy, and the moon moves into Aries, so your emotions now shift to your partnerships and your marriage. There is a chance of some minor storms there with how you relate to yourself. This is where the marriage part is. And Neptune's ruling the day, and that's basically saying, hey, you need to listen to your intuition and figure out exactly where you stand. By Thursday, things pick up. You're ready to make decisions, and by decisions we mean what your inner child deserves and why. You're feeling a bit more centered in your daily reality, and Saturn rules the day, so you're feeling sharp. Plus, the moon has moved off Uranus, and hopefully you're feeling sentimental again about your relationships. On Friday, it's time to take action. That means Mars. That means step into the new inner child path. Step down the path of what your heart wants to manifest, or what you're like casting, or what your personal dreams are. Take action. The moon in Taurus will make you a little vulnerable, and there's a chance of randy with you combine all the energies. On Saturday, you're holding space for what your dreams really want to be and what your heart wants to pull into your life. This may even be wanting love in your life, by the way. That's the highest form of joy, right? When we're in total love with somebody. So many of you Libras or Libra risings may be trying to bring in love into your life right now. On Saturday, you want to love and you want to trust that it's all going to come. And the moon is in Taurus, so you're feeling rather private. Then finally, we are tested on Sunday. Chiron pulls us back, and there is a test of your faith that your inner child will get what you want. The moon is in Taurus, and so you're very vulnerable. At the same time, you're emotionally sensitive to your boundaries. And the moon is heading for Jupiter, so your mind's going to go through a big expansion. And so, you know, when Libra's minds start to get tipped, wow, that's when they get a little crazy. All right, so now I have another slide that looks at this from the actual planetary point of view, and this is so that we can kind of see what we call transits, or how other planets are working with other planets. And this is basically just an animation of astro.com over 5 days. These green arrows are showing basically that connection that's going on between self-esteem and you living in the moment. So if you are not managing your boundaries with what you're worth, you will feel crappy in the moment. This is all playing into that spirit in the moment, which is that party in Pisces. These red arrows are basically fears that Libras and Libra risings are facing between your beliefs, what you're raised to believe, and actually what pulls off in the moment. So you're maybe trying to be something in the moment that goes against belief, and so you have to stay open on your beliefs and just be open-minded. This is showing how the moon will literally scrub all the sensitive areas of the week across your chart. So going back, it repeats always once. So the moon starts off in, basically inner child, then your daily reality, then that's your relationships and marriage, and then it goes into trust and intimacy, and then it heads for your beliefs. So it's a passionate day. Here things are up close, so you can see the planets in each step of the day. So step 8 we decide, step 9 we act, step 10 we manifest, step 11 we are tested. Here you can see the moon does cross all these sensitive areas and Uranus in the house of marriage, and then moves straight into the house of trust and intimacy, and then heads for belief. So, it's an emotional week. Finally, this square between Uranus and Pluto is the square between you trying to step into new relationships and new marriage and new this, and you still kind of being affected by the way you were raised, by the way your family said it was. And believe it or not, you're still shaking off a lot of the emotional imprints of childhood that get in the way of stepping into the new marriages, and that get in the way to step into spirit in the moment. Okay? So let's take a quick look at the planets in space. I want to point out a couple things. What I want to talk about here is I'm just going to focus now on just that party in Pisces, which is the spirit in the moment. And this is the big theme coming up, basically, and I think I have it under. This is the big theme coming up next month with the sun in Pisces. Let me get out of the way. Basically, there are all these states of awareness focused in Pisces right now. Your thoughts, your ego action, how you be and heal, and how you sense, or your intuition. So psychicness, action, healing, and thoughts are all on really living spiritual in the moment. And this week, the moon blazes through this party in Pisces on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, basically. And this is the emotional strum that we're getting, that you're getting. What is the result? Well, we're not quite sure, because Mercury's going to go retrograde, so you're going to think through how to live in the moment all over again. And when we talk about living in the moment, we're talking about what's it like to be inside you for a day. Is it fun? Is there any spirit there? Is God there? Or is it all nervousness, all stress, all analyzing all the time for everyone else? Libras cannot be fair judges unless they're totally grounded by their spiritual self of Pisces. Neptune is here. It's not going anywhere for at least a decade. And so this is the beginning of that kind of party, so to speak. Let's take a closer look at the actual orbits. First of all, Neptune and Chiron are really the big granddaddies of the party here. And Neptune is saying, just connect to the moment. If you can just listen for your psychic awareness in the moment. Listen for the Lord Jesus Christ in the moment. Listen for whatever that is in the moment. And Chiron says, be decisive about what you want healed. And this includes with health. So if you are Libras that are having health issues, you want to say, I want this healed. I want to be decisive that this is healed. Whatever it is, put it on your list. This is what you hold in your consciousness. And this is what the planets tell us. What is above is below. So So hold this in your consciousness, and universe will change everything for the better. That's how this all works. Now, looking at 3 other orbits, or actually 4. At the top, I have Mars's orbit. At the middle line, I have Mercury, or thoughts. These are also in that same party. And the sun is in Aquarius, but the moon does fly through the space here at the bottom. And so basically, step 8 on Tuesday, that's Tuesday, isn't that? That's Tuesday with Mr. Happy's. On Tuesday, you're going to decide to take an action, step 8. So actions are, you're going to decide to take an action about changing your moment, but you're not going to take it. You don't want to take it yet because that's actually coming up on Thursday. But you want a mind that is I love me, I love me, I love you on Tuesday. So you want to have that frame of mind. And this is how the step astrology begins to break down through hard times. And I've decided to really just focus on this in the hard times. So on Thursday, you're going to actually take that action on self-compassion. And that's something in the moment, with health, with work style, with what you tolerate in the day. How non-spiritual is your day? Okay, or how non-Jesus, or how non-cool is it? You know, take action on compassion, and your mind just has to stay open to unlimited possibilities in order for you to pull it off. Otherwise, you're going to want to self-sabotage or Libra it away, right? Where you just never decide. Then finally, on Saturday, just I love me, I love you, gratitude, actions of self-gratitude when you're manifesting what your inner child wants. Because this is really all about your inner child. This is the distraction of the lesson, is how you live in the moment. You have to be peaceful in the moment for the inner child to get its dreams. But you're like casting your inner child's dreams. And then on Sunday, inner child perhaps tested on whether or not you can hold that faith and stay passionate. And your mind needs to stay just loving, self-loving, and connect to your guides. Just stay connected to your guides. Because chances are your guides are going to say, hey, everything's fine. Just trust us. Right? That's what mine do. We'll hang out here in Pluto. So to sum up and wrap up for Libra and Libra risings, the key to this week really is staying in touch with your inner child. Being able to stay in touch with your inner child and keep your inner child on your personal path will also mean that you have to be aware of spirit in the moment, not let the moment rob you of your courses. Also, you have to step up your self-nurturing. Don't let yourself fall back in old self-esteem, but don't worry about raising your prices just yet. You're still defending the new price. You're still defending, you know, just the first step. So it's not time to like go for the gusto yet. You can't develop everywhere. And when it comes to your own meerage, be willing to always innovate your response to yourself and to respond differently to yourself to any situation that comes, so that you're always like a new, fresh breath of air to you when you're dealing with you and waking up with you every day. All right, let's wrap up. This week, my gratitude goes to you, the viewer. I just want to say thank you for always reaching out, for always looking for me when I've been off the air, for continuing to give me great positive feedback and allowing me to grow and be honest on the air and not have to pretend to be somebody else. I'm very grateful to be in this service. And if you watch my horoscope, Taurus, you'll see that I'm finding my place in the world, and it's so nice to be received by you. So thank you. Much gratitude to you. This is co-creation in the making right here live. Don't forget, if you'd like to connect to me personally, I do go on the air live in a Google Hangout called A Guided Hangout on Mondays at 12 noon Pacific. So we put that post on my Facebook, in the mothership, everywhere. So come on down, you can watch, you can chat, and you can ask me questions personally. This is my way of getting, and I'd love to hear your feedback on the horoscopes and what you think so far. If you want to be watched over personally by me, I write text messages every day through the night, personally to my subscribers, and you can start it for 1 week for a penny. So come on down if you want at gatext.me and try the GA service with us. Thank you so much for logging in. I'll see you on Sunday if everything goes well, but if you look at the horoscope, it will. And until then, live, love, be